Tesla firm stays closed. This is a decision that just was leaked on CNBC, but maybe this was the reason behind Elon Musk's Twitter tour that was not so good for the stock. However, fun fact, I have a Guinness World Record, and happy Sunday because it's your favorite Tesla series on the internet. Welcome to Tesla Sundays. So many crazy topics to discuss on this Tesla Sundays episode, and we will start that Tesla will stay closed at least for another week. This is not good for Tesla, but we will talk about it. We will talk about Elon Musk tweets that he thinks, the Tesla stock is a little bit too high. Moreover, we will talk about the Tesla stock, obviously. Also, we will talk about the Q1 earnings, which was just released this week, and we will talk about the David Einhorn account receivables questionnaire, and we will talk about the VW ID3 update. They are still fighting against the software. And last but not least, we will talk about the Tesla China subsidiaries. As of this timings, or with these timings that we are currently in, Tesla China becomes one of the most important part for Tesla, and therefore it's so important that we talk about that. We know that Tesla's CEO Elon Musk is one of the first person who would open when he can. Unfortunately, he can't. CNBC just leaked an internal info that unfortunately the Tesla team couldn't agree or fight that the Tesla factory will open, and therefore at least 1 week longer everything stays closed. Maybe this was the reason why Tesla CEO went a little bit mad on Twitter. However, we know that he closed the Tesla factory at the last minute when he was allowed, and he will reopen as soon as possible. And then we will start again to produce the best electric vehicles on the planet. Gosh, someone takes away, please, the Twitter password of Elon Musk Twitter. Now on Friday, Elon Musk decided, beside other weird tweets, that he thinks to express in public that, in his opinion, the stock is too high. Now, this was waving through the financial markets, CNBC, Yahoo Finance, everybody was talking about 20,000 times. It got retweeted on Twitter, and I think this will bring the one or the other problem to Tesla. Now, first of all, I don't think a CEO in his position should give such statements out there. However, you know that Elon Musk is sometimes a little bit different, and this is why we love him. But obviously, this will maybe bring two issues. Issue number one, we might see lawsuits by traders and Tesla investors because some of them lost a lot of money, guys. If the stock goes suddenly down from 10% or more, then some people lose a hell of the money, and some people are not happy about that and go to court to get their money back from Tesla or from Elon Musk. Now, on the other side, we also know that there was a little bit of agreement between the SEC and Elon Musk. Now, there was this private taking Tesla tweet just a couple of years ago, and therefore we see since then the arrangement that they had was something that, he shouldn't make this kind of moves, okay? So I think that the SEC will be reactivated, and we shall see another beginning of the story between SEC and Tesla and Elon Musk. However, he also stated finally that his overall long-term opinion is very optimistic for Tesla. Let's talk a little bit about the Tesla stock. Now the Tesla stock were at 746 levels going into the week. Now it's a very, very important week for Tesla stock because it was the earnings week, and therefore we gained towards the earnings just before the earnings with about 7% positive. Now after the earnings were released, the stock after hours gained about 14%, and obviously this was very hypnotizing for Tesla investors that we can scratch maybe the next mark, which would be not 800 but even 900 or 1,000 mark in just a couple of days. Now this was the hopes, but unfortunately we lost since the latest high. After the earnings, the first trading day, we were at about 866, about a 7.6-ish improvement since the earnings, and then went down up to 20% almost. This happened because the Elon Musk tweets that brought the stock down 10%. Also, the allegations by the hedge fund manager David Einhorn that we will talk about now, and this brought, and maybe is also some profit taking from the table. You know, the stock went up about 100% since the recent lows in mid of March, and obviously there are some people that just trading Tesla because it's one of the most volatile stocks, and they taking gains on very good day, which was directly after the earnings where the stock scratched $870 range. Well, as Tesla bulls, we were waiting for those Q1 earnings very, very, very long. Now, there was two main things that was considerable. First, can they make profit? Yes, they did. 16 million to be exact. Most of it were due to sales of this sustainable credits to fiat, and those are about $250 million. Now, however, we have seen other highlights as well. We know or think that Elon Musk sees the robotaxi in 2021, a little bit, 1 year later than he originally planned for. However, we have seen huge improvements in the manufacturing of the Model Y, the profitability of Model Y directly, since they are using about 75% of the car parts of the Model 3 already. This gives and allows Tesla to produce quite cheaply the new car model on the portfolio. However, we also see other improvements, like for example the overall capacity of Tesla China. Tesla China is getting so important now for Tesla. This was one of the most brilliant moves. And also in the earnings call there was the question when and how many gigafactories we will see in the future, but Tesla made and expressed that it's more important that they are extending those gigafactories that they will have, rather than buying or making new gigafactories all around that are maybe smaller. They want to rather build Terra factories, okay? Moreover, they said, the fleet is extensively giving the autopilot such a leap forward against the competition that you can imagine then it's like a Google search. You are training by using Google to get better and better, and therefore it's number one search engine, and I don't know even who's number two. However, so these are very important parts of the Q1 earnings as well as the earnings call. Well, David Einhorn got fame or clout, however you call it, through the outcalling of Lehman Brothers collapse. He was one of the first guys on Wall Street that saw that Lehman Brothers could collapse. Was he lucky that the government didn't bail out Lehman Brothers? Absolutely yes. Was he really good in his prediction? Absolutely yes. So he got some credit, okay? And since then, he is shorting and going long some good amount of money and dollars, billions in his hedge funds, and he is shorting Tesla. Now he thinks that there is something cooked about the books and about Tesla, and therefore also he get quite public about this on Twitter, obviously the favorite platform of Elon Musk. And they got back and forth, and since November actually, Tesla said, let's not talk to this guy anymore. And then he refreshed that he still wanted tour of Tesla during the next couple of weeks, but it seems that it was not so serious by Tesla Tesla, and now he's coming back with some allegations that the account receivables seems a bit fishy. Now, how fishy it is, well, we don't know, but Tesla said that all this account receivables was mainly related towards end of the month or end of the quarter because of some fiat sustainable credits that they are selling and had an agreement with, and therefore, we shall see how this story evolve, and maybe you let me in the comments and leave a like if you think that those allegations are true or false. Well, do you know Jürgen Stackmann? Me neither. I just got heard of him by today. Now, he posted a Twitter where he said just had an opportunity for another test drive with the VW ID3 with latest software. As you might know, the VW ID3, the first mass market electric car by VW, the biggest manufacturer on earth, is little bit delayed. They have some problems with the software. They are not so good at software like Tesla is. And here you see definitely the strongest asset maybe of Tesla, that they have so much software power behind their brains. And I heard that this guy is in the board of Volkswagen and had opportunity, and even him said that there is still lots of work to do. So we can assume that the VW will be not released in the short term, and I think this is very positive for Tesla investor and Teslas. Now guys, we know that Tesla China is getting more and more important for Tesla as it was never before. And there were some changes in the subsidies that China as a government gives to electric car holders, and there was a threshold of 300,000 Chinese yuan, which means that the Model 3 was not available for the subsidies. But Tesla would be no Tesla to change exactly that. Now, what they said on the earnings call was that they want to reduce the price to fit and give the opportunity of subsidies that the Chinese government is giving out there to clients, obviously, and this is what they will do, and this is obviously very, very positive. However, they also said on the earnings call for Tesla China that they will produce the battery modules here. They're producing already the facility. Their construction is very far ahead, and also we shall see also development and the production of Model Y in China as well. Those are huge news for Tesla and China. Moreover, the capacity got changed from 150,000 vehicles to 200,000 vehicles during 1 year. So maybe at one point China will be even bigger than the US in producing for the Tesla market, Tesla vehicles, and therefore I believe that this is very, very positive news.